tuning into TTV. I'm your host Toya, and today is Communion Sunday, and we are making a healthy treat that I'm going to show you how to make. Now, there are a couple of things because this is a treat. It's really not that good for you, so I didn't really put no links down below, but I'll tell you what some of the benefits are for some of the stuff. Before we get started, I just have some water boiling. That's just to melt the chocolate. I have a hot pan here, no oil, just a hot pan, and I'm just going to toast a little bit of coconut. Okay? Don't need too much, but just a little bit of coconut. Because we're going to mix that with some stuff. The coconut actually has enough oil in it to where you don't really need to add anything else. And it doesn't take but just a couple of minutes, as you're going to find out. Which is why I didn't even bother bringing the camera over here, because it really doesn't take that long. It's already halfway there already. And I just started. Alright, so I'll show you what it looked like before and the after. This is just a regular pan, no oil in it, just medium heat. And all I'm doing is just making sure to move it around so it doesn't burn. That's it. And we are almost done just that quick. So let me turn this heat off. Yep, and just like this, we have some toasted coconut. Okay. Ooh, you can smell it now too. But see how it gets that brown coloring to it? But that's it. That's all you need. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. Actually, let me get another bowl to put this in so it'll stop cooking. Okay, so coconut, like most fruits and vegetables and stuff, it has a lot of antioxidants in it. It's very beneficial. If you are allergic to coconut, just skip this. Okay? You don't have to do it. Anything that you're allergic to, you can just switch it out for something else, okay? But, so this is the before, and you can hear the crunch in there. You hear that? Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Still a little warm. Okay? And you can see it's got that nice golden brown. When before, it was white. Okay? So this is unsweetened coconut, okay? So get you some unsweetened. You don't need to add sugars, okay? Now, for the chocolate. So I can get this put in. So this is just some Ghirardelli chocolate. It is 6%, 60% cacao. Oops, sorry. Yeah. So 60% cacao, which is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate actually has more antioxidants in it. It's better for you. Chocolate is actually considered a superfood. So I'm going to just put it in here. And we're just going to melt this down. I am going to add, because I'm just remembering now, last time I had a little problem with it because it was too thick. So I'm remembering now, that's why I added some coconut oil to it. And yeah, you can taste the chocolate. Yeah, that's your right as a cook. Anytime you're cooking, you can taste it. So I just got some coconut oil. This is refined. You can get some unrefined. That's probably better. But this one shouldn't have so strong of a coconut taste. That's what the refined and unrefined means. So I'm just going to put this on top of this boiling water so that can melt. Get that stuff out the way. Now we move on to the other. Now we have one more topping. You can use any kind you want for this one, okay? It doesn't have to be what I had. But these are cocoa almonds, okay? So they're cocoa covered, not chocolate covered, okay? So it's cocoa, the powder. All right, I love these. I put this on top of my yogurt. Love it on the yogurt. And I'll crunch it up and put it in with the toasted coconut on top of this dessert that we're making. And I don't really know what to call it because it's just something I threw together. And I really enjoyed it, so that was that. But almonds are a good source of protein. And yes, I will use any bottle I have around me. So I just put it in a sandwich bag like that. And then I just beat it until it's crumbled to the size that I want. It doesn't take a whole lot of pressure. So you don't have to like bang the crap out of it. Bang! You don't have to do all that. I just want this crumbled up nice. Alright, you could probably even use one of these, okay? So this, I'm going to add to here. When you do use it with the sandwich bag, sometimes you get holes in it, okay? So just know that, because I got some on my counter. All right. I'm just gonna mix these two together, and this is the topping. Get your toasted coconut and then the cocoa almonds. And like I said, almonds are a really good source of protein. So if you're vegan or something like that, or need more protein in your life, this is a good way to do it. Okay. So we put that to the side. That's done. Check our chocolate. Just almost melted down. I think I'm gonna add a little more. Because there's two things that I do when I make this. Okay? I will use the mixture we about to make, and I'll do bananas. So I'm gonna show y'all both. Because I got some bananas. I wasn't gonna do the bananas, but we gonna do the bananas too. Or I wasn't gonna show y'all the bananas. Okay. I don't measure, so I'm sorry for y'all that want measurements. I don't know what to tell you. I'll guesstimate at what I have in here, but truly I don't measure because I'm just making this for me. So I'm gonna put, ooh, okay, well I guess we're using that much. So this is probably about 1.5 cups of almond flour, okay? And that's what the almond flour look like, okay? It's basically just ground up almonds. I'm gonna put some peanut butter with this. We'll start out with maybe 1/4 cup. You don't want it too thin, okay? But you don't want it too thick either, because you're gonna make it into a ball. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off because this chocolate is almost done. All right, I'm gonna put just like maybe, yeah, about a tablespoon of maple syrup. This was a vanilla maple syrup. I don't really taste the vanilla in it, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more vanilla. So like 1/2 teaspoon to this mixture. So this is what we have so far. Okay. And then you just mix it up. Just make sure all the ingredients get well combined. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do is we're going to make balls out of this. And then we're going to dip it in the chocolate. And you're going to put the toasted stuff on top. Okay. But you need this mixture to be dry enough that you can make the balls out of it, okay? And I'm going to tell you, if you go to taste this, it might not taste like much of nothing. But trust me, just keep going. Trust the process. Trust what I'm making here. Because when I first made this, I'm like, this ain't going to be all that good. You can even put some shredded coconut in here, which actually sound really good. So I think I will put some coconut in it too. But trust the process. It's going to taste good. I'm just going to add a little bit of coconut to it. Because why not? And you could do that. You can add whatever you want. You can put some cacao nibs in here too, if you wanted to. You can put some dried fruit in here. If you didn't want peanut butter, you can use like a sunflower butter, or you can use almond butter. Look at me making a mess. You can put any of that stuff in there, okay? Whatever you choose. It's your dish. You make it what you want, okay? I'm the only one that eat this. My son, he had one, and that was all he wanted, so oh well. But anyway, you end up with a mixture like this, okay? So you can easily form it into a ball. You see how it will take the shape? Okay? Now I'm going to tell you a trick. I got some parchment paper here. Well, actually, I don't need that just yet. So making these balls, wet your hands. Okay? When you wet your hands, it's easier to deal with. Okay? But and you can make this ball as big or small as you want. It's up to you. This is your stuff. You make it how you want. But we're just putting it in here, rolling it together into a ball. Ta-da. That's it. Just that simple. Okay? We're going to roll all of these up. So I'm going to fast forward through this or skip through this. So you don't have to sit here and watch me do this. Even though it really probably won't take that much longer, but still. I'm going to edit this part out so you can jump to the chocolate dipping. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. We're on the last one. You can taste this too if you haven't already. You can taste it. Like I said, it's kind of a bland flavor, but trust me when I tell you, it all comes together, okay? Okay, so last little ball. All right, so we have all our balls here. The other thing is too, is if you can't have peanut butter for whatever reason, you can use dates. Okay, so if you can't do peanut butter, you can do the dates. All right, just washing my hands. You always want to keep your hands clean. Yeah, so if you can't have the nuts or allergic to the nuts, then you can use sunflower seed butter, or like I said, you can use, oh my God, you can use dates. But you'll have to use a food processor for that, so that you can get the dates blended up with the almond flour. Or, and if you can't use almond flour, you can use coconut flour. You can even try it with chickpea flour. I'm sure it will work with chickpeas, because, you know, I've made cookies with chickpeas before and they were really good. So you can probably even use chickpea flour if you're trying to stay away from the nuts. Again, it's something that you can still have. All right, so we got our mixture here. And this is just the toasted coconut with the almonds, the crushed up almonds. And then we have our melted chocolate. And then I got my baking sheet with the parchment paper, okay? And you'll make sure that's close. Okay, so we're just gonna take your little ball, pop it in there, move it around. And it's better with a fork because the fork has the holes to drain. Pull it out. And then set it on your sheet. Same thing, do it again. Let it drain. And then set it on the sheet, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the sheet and put it in the freezer, okay? But just make sure they're coated. It's best to use the spoon to coat so that you don't poke it with the fork like I just did, because then you'll end up with a bunch of bits of this stuff in there. But you put it on the sheet. Now if you want more, you can even dip this in there and just cover the whole thing like this. I'm going to show you. Just put it in there, move it around, and then now you have the whole thing covered. I don't really want the whole thing covered because I like it like this, where you just get a little bit of it. It's perfect to me. And as you can see, this doesn't take too long. Just like I said, coat it with the spoon, not with the fork, because you can poke it. And then, like I said, you'll end up with bits of the mixture all in this, okay? And I'm sticking to one side because I told y'all I would do the bananas. So I need some room for the banana. When I tell y'all the banana, listen, now I know why they have those dips, those chocolate covered bananas in the store that they sell in the freezer. After making these, I know why they do that now. Okay, so you just want to make sure you have space, so they're not sitting right on top of each other, okay? Just enough so you can get the chocolate to freeze around it. And I leave these in the freezer. Okay, so this is the final product. See that? They look like meatballs, don't they? But no, they chocolate. These two are touching. And that one can use a little more chocolate right there. All right, perfect. Okay, so then I just take this mixture and I just put it on top, just like this. And then I'll go back and press it just to make sure it stays in there, so it gets the chocolate as the glue. Okay. Now you can eat it like this, that's perfectly fine. But I like my chocolate to set so it's not wet all over my hands. And it doesn't take long in the freezer, you know, just a few minutes. So I'm gonna stick this in the freezer while I get a banana. I got a banana here, and I don't have a knife. Okay. Now this you can do, make these slices as thick or thin as you want. Again, this is to your taste, what you want, what you like. I eat the ends because they're not flat. Okay, so make it as thick or thin as you want. You ain't gotta do nothing to them special, just cut them up. Alright, so all of that is done. They all cut up. You see, that's about how much I made it. That's what, like maybe half an inch. Okay. And then from here, let me grab this back out the freezer. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay. Same same thing. I know. I don't know why I put that in the freezer either. For me to turn around and take it right back out. So we're going to do the same thing over here. So we take a banana. Just put a couple in here. Cover them up. This one, it doesn't matter with the spoon or the fork. It doesn't really matter. And then you just put it on a sheet. Just coat it, put it on the sheet. And you let the fork drains the chocolate really nice. Although I like those little peaks that be on the side, that melted out to the side. Perfect. And I guess since I got enough chocolate here, I can show y'all one more thing. I have to get the supplies for it though. To make your own little Reese cups at home. Because there's enough chocolate in here, I can do it. And like I said, dark chocolate is good for you. Doesn't have as much sugar. It'll actually help to cut your chocolate cravings as well. Okay, so you won't want the chocolate as much because you're satisfied with the dark chocolate satisfies that chocolate craving, so you don't eat as much of it. Or so they say. I don't know how true that is when I make this because I will pick at these all day, but I don't feel bad about it because I didn't add. The only thing that has added sugar in it is the cocoa, the chocolate that I melted. Oh, and what else? The maple syrup, because I control how much I put in there, so I can put what I want in there. What's the other sugar we have? It's a little bit on the cocoa almonds. They have some sugar. I think that's it. It's just the maple syrup that I added. What's already in the chocolate itself. Same thing with the cocoa almonds. All right, so we almost done with this. Get these covered. The other one you can put in the freezer as well, but we don't have to put it on the same tray. So this tray be done. So as we make that, I'll show you that. I got bananas all over my fingers. All right. Still got bananas on my fingers. All right, so got my hands cleaned. Get them dry as possible for what we're about to do next. So this is what the bananas look like, and again you're just going to take it and you're just going to sprinkle it on top. And that's it. And then we're going to put this in the freezer. I'm gonna go get oh, y'all can't even see me doing. I'm gonna get the stuff and we're gonna make some Reese cups since I still got some melted chocolate. How many Reese cups we gonna make? I don't know. But we gonna make some. So there we have it. Okay, so we got our almond balls and we got our banana chips, okay? So let me get this in the freezer. Oops, I done slid it trying to show y'all. So let me separate these bananas back. Only thing that'll happen is they'll stick together. You gotta break them apart, that's it. But you see them little chocolate smears? Right there. I love it. You get to break those off and eat them. Okay, so I messed that pan up, so we're gonna get another bowl. For the very own Reese cups. Okay, so I'm back. So we're gonna make our own Reese cups since I got enough melted chocolate in here. It's quite a bit in here. I don't need this fork anymore. All right, so we go back to our almond flour. I need some more peanut butter because I don't think I have enough peanut butter. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, so this should be enough peanut butter between these two jars for me to make this. Okay, so we still have quite a bit of chocolate, just to show you how much is left in here. You know, so this, you can see, it's hot. So we still have a bit of chocolate left over. So I have these little cups. They came in a little thing like this. And then this is just a muffin cup that I have for little ones, and these fit really nicely in. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this chocolate. You're not filling it up, just fill the bottom, okay? Just want to fill the bottom up with it, with our chocolate mixture. And again, this was just some dark chocolate with some coconut oil in it. And the coconut oil just makes it smooth so that it's easier to pour and dip stuff in. If we weren't doing that, the pouring and the dipping stuff in it, then you could just melt it down and it'd be fine. But because we're trying to dip stuff in it, what I find is if you don't add the oil, the chocolate gets kind of thick and it's hard to coat. So if you ever wonder why they add the coconut oil to it, that's why. It's because it gets hard to coat. Alright. So most of our chocolate is going to be on the bottom. Okay? Alright. So put it back on the water so it can stay warm. The good thing about making these is you can eat it while you go. So we're going to use a little almond flour. Like I said, if you're trying to stay away from the almonds, you can use some other kind of flour if you like. But we really just need this to give it some substance. Okay, because when you look at the Reese cups, they're kind of, they have a thickness to them. Okay, it's not just smooth, creamy peanut butter. It's something else with it. And that's kind of what we're going to be duplicating. Actually, this might be enough peanut butter after all. Now you can get unsweetened peanut butter or sweetened peanut butter. It's up to you. This was just some that was open that I had. So this one is sweetened. So that's the other thing that had the sugar in it. This one is sweet. Alright, and then you just mix this up just like we did before. You don't need to add anything else to it. But we're just going to mix this up. But see, that's what ends up happening is that you end up with this like ball of peanut butter that's coated, so you're just trying to get it to mix up, okay? And I think I am going to need some more peanut butter. But this was probably maybe a half a cup of almond flour and about a quarter cup of peanut butter. But this is too dry. Even as I'm mixing it up, it's still too dry. So I think I'm going to add some more peanut butter. I ain't gonna pick at this one because my son will eat this one. So I'm trying to do right on this one. My son won't eat the rest of them, but he'll eat this. Okay. Because you want this to be more peanut butter than almond flour. Or again, whatever flour that you're gonna use. Chickpea flour, whatever. So you see how this is kind of coming together into just one ball? That's kind of what we're looking for. And then if you look at it, it's kind of the same texture that you would see in your Reese cups. Let me back up and then back in. Okay, so it's about the same texture as what you get in a Reese cup. Okay, so we're just going to take this. Like I said, since he eat this, I'm going to be right. If it was just me, I'd do like I did with that other one. And just put it in there. It don't have to be perfect. If you want it perfect, then you can try to wrap it up in a ball if you want. And if you don't have this little thing right here, you know, just get creative with what you use. You don't have to go out and get a whole nother cookie sheet. Just get creative with what you have around the house. You really just need something that's just going to hold the cups still. Hold them in place. I think somebody used the lids on the mason jars because they didn't have a cookie sheet. When they were making muffins, So same thing. Just get creative. Nobody said you had to use exactly what I got. Alright, I think I'm going to have to make a little bit more because I didn't make enough. Oh, I'm over here making a mess. Okay, I'm going to have to make a little bit more so I can get these in the refrigerator. But I'm not going to put y'all through that. So So I'm going to take my chocolate that's melted, and then we're just going to cover this up. And because this is for you, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? You can even probably push it down. Like if it's not covered, you can probably push it down in there. Like that. There we go. And then you put this in the freezer. Once it's set, you're all good. And you want to keep these in the freezer. These desserts that we made today, you want to keep in the freezer. Alright, that's it for the chocolate. So you know what I'm going to do? Instead of making some more, I'm going to do it like this. I know I just wasted my paper, but it's okay. And then we are done. So we're going to put this in the freezer. Let it set. Which should take about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes for this to set. Enough for you to take it out the paper. Like I said, I just want to cover this up some, so you just push it down. Because remember, we got most of the chocolate on the bottom. So you can push it down to cover. So I only planned on making one dessert with y'all, and look, we done made 3. So this is a way for you to make your own Reese cups. You know exactly what's in it. You got stuff in it that's good for you. You don't have to feel bad about it. Yep, and there we have it. Alright, so I'm going to get this in the freezer. Pull the other ones out. Okay, so I'm back. So just so y'all know, I haven't done much editing on this at all. So the time that it took me to make the Reese cups, this has already started setting. See, they little balls now. Okay? And like I said, when they stick together, you just break them apart. Same thing with the bananas. Okay? They just stuck a little bit together because they move. Yep. And then that's it. You're done. Enjoy. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think the bananas are my favorite. But these little balls, they good too. So let me show you what they look like. So when you open them up in the center, I'm getting chocolate all over me. That's what they look like. Okay? And the way that all of it come together is delicious. But you do want to keep them in the freezer. Because these haven't fully frozen, they still soft, and that's why I'm getting my fingers covered with the cocoa, with the chocolate. But these are so delicious. Wait, let me do another banana. Like I said, those are my favorite, so I can show you what they look like. So this is a banana. Okay. Ooh. And then we break it up. That's what they look like on the inside. Okay. So I'm gonna put these back in there. I'll probably wait till the Reese cups freeze so I can show you those, because they haven't frozen yet. Because I just put them in there. But I'm gonna let these set some more. I'll pull the Reese cups out, show y'all what those look like, and that'll be it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. This is the final product, what it looks like. It hasn't completely frozen, but honestly my battery about to die, so I'm gonna have to charge it, which means I gotta get out of here. But this is what they look like. They come out. This is the one that spilled a little, as you can see, but it's okay. And then you can just pull it off. And then pop it in your mouth. And like I said, you're gonna have to let this freeze a little more, but you can see where it looks like a Reese cup. See that? Tastes like a Reese cup. I forgot to tell y'all, I took the rest of the toasted coconut and the almonds and and just put that on top of it to let it set. But that's your homemade Reese cup right there. So I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.